Good evening. Parents, teachers, counselors, administrators, the community that supports East Rockingham, but a special shout out to the graduates of 2019. I am humbled and honored to share this day with you. I want to thank Grace Rogers, who through her father and my friend of 35 years reached out and asked me if I'd speak today. Go Pack. I know I have a mission to be profound and give you inspiration to go out and take on the world. But I also know that the only person who will remember these words tomorrow morning will be your mothers. So I will focus on one word and one word only: passion. Say it with me. Passion.
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 That's my message. I want you to do what you are passionate about. What makes your heart beat faster and raises your internal energy. If you're passionate about going to college and being a doctor, go. If you're passionate about technology and want to learn how to code, go. If you're passionate about getting on a bus with your guitar and playing music in Nashville, go. If you're passionate about building engines for cars, go. If you're passionate about grabbing your skis and jumping in some banged up Honda Accord and being a ski bum in Colorado, go. Wait for me afterwards, I'm going with you. If you walk out of here tonight and don't plan on doing what you are passionate about, you're wasting your time. Before I tell you a couple cool stories to motivate you about how to be passionate, I need to put out one PSA. For you non-social media folks, that's a public service announcement. My passion has taught me how to fight. Not physically, but to fight for what is right. Fight for your beliefs. Fight for what is important to you. But most importantly, fight for the ones you love and never forget to tell them how much they mean to you while they are still alive. I love you, Nikki Reese, my wife. Thank you for coming with me today. Today's life-changing. It's graduation day. It's start of a new phase of your life. A day for a fresh start for some of you. You might need it. What are you going to do next? Are you on a plan? Is it your parents' plan? Is it your boyfriend or girlfriend's plan? Maybe your teachers or counselors have a plan for you. What is your plan? Does it include what you are passionate about? When I graduated a long time ago, I thought I was on a plan. Not sure whose plan it was. Probably my parents. But in retrospect, it was not mine. I went to college on a partial football scholarship. Thought I could go to the NFL. Not. Football was a passion, and that let me get to college, even though I wasn't that good. If the NFL didn't work out, then I maybe could become a lawyer and make my family proud. But that wasn't my passion. Fortunately for me, none of these ideas came to fruition for the way we see them in Disney movies. I actually had to drop out of college. Actually, I failed out. Not good. I went home and my father told me I could not come home and be a freeloader and live underneath his house. So I went up to my room and I cried like a baby. I felt sorry for myself. I called my little brother, who was an Army Ranger, and I asked him what to do. He gave me the number to his recruiter, and I enlisted in the Army the next morning to be an Army Ranger. Was I passionate about this decision? Absolutely not. Just like some of you out there right now, you're not passionate about what you're about to do. I can look in your eyes and I can tell. But I went in the Army because I was not sure what else to do. I had not found my passion. When I got to the Army, I fell in love with the Army. I found a passion for leading. The Army made me a real-life Jason Bourne. After 25 years in the Army, I started several companies that put hundreds of people around the world to work and help them provide for their families. And today, I'm graduating you on your graduation from high school. This I am very passionate about. See, I needed to find my passion. Many of you, you know what your passion is. I too can see that in your eyes. But you are afraid to jump to the opportunity to go after your passion because of outside influences and fear. Maybe it's your parents, teachers, friends, society at all. It's time to take a risk. Realize the only thing certain in life is to be mediocre. Who wants to be mediocre? Take a risk when it comes to passion. Do what you really want to do, not what others want you to do. Take control of your life. Assume some risk. God, whatever God that is, will smile on you. Go big or stay home. If you fail big. It's okay. Get up, try again. I've been to the mountain and I've fallen in the valley so many times in my life, I can't even tell you how many times I've done it. Remember, you only live once, so do something, anything you are passionate about. When I went to Ranger School, I had so much passion and energy, they called me the Energizer Bunny. Years later, my passion got me recruited to assess for the Delta Force, the world's premier counterterrorism force. The passion and experience I had as a leader in the Rangers and the Delta Force allowed me to face challenges that brought me to the brink of physical and mental failure many times, and I had to climb my way back up. Those experiences in the Rangers and Delta taught me 5 things that I use every day in my life. And I hope to pass those 5 things on to you and my children also. 1, never judge a book by its cover. In every cool commando story, there's always an obstacle course somewhere. Watch the movies. Delta has its own obstacle course. When I first went to Delta, we all went down to look at this obstacle course. I always thought an obstacle course was how strong you were. Just the contrary. It dealt with problem solving and how to efficiency of your body's energy. The short, chubby, bald-headed Delta operator walked up and said, "Follow me." I chuckled. I said, "This guy can't smoke me." 1 hour later, I was on my knees puking halfway through the obstacle course because all I was using was my muscles. I wasn't using my head. I wasn't being efficient with my movement. I wasn't problem solving. When I failed to conduct the obstacle course, I said to myself, I will never judge again by the way someone looks. Number 2, never self-select out. What's that mean? Don't quit. Never quit. Don't give up. I had a Delta operator who's been in every combat action since Grenada in 1983. One day he was driving his bike. He was a very esteemed bicycle racer on Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He was hit from behind by a car, very seriously injured. He mangled his right leg so bad, they told him he was going to have to be retired from the Army. He would never ride a bike again. 3 days later, he went back to the surgeon and voluntarily had his right leg amputated below the knee. Why? Because he could get a prosthetic and could stay in the Army, and now he's a gold medalist Olympian in the paramilitary games. That's what I mean by never giving up, and he did not self-select out. Number 3, when in charge, take charge. When you're asked to follow, be a good follower. When I went to Ranger School, I did pretty good. I was actually the distinguished honor grad in my Ranger School class. But in the last phase, I'd finished all my testing. And this young lieutenant who was struggling from West Point, it was his turn up. And if he did not pass his patrol phase, he was going to fail Ranger School and have to go and never come back again. I was exhausted because I just got finished with my last patrol. He came up to me and said, "Hey Reese, you're already a go. I need a go. Will you help me pass this and carry the radio and help me get this go?" Now deep down I didn't want to do it because I was exhausted. And I had to carry another 100 pounds and do everything to help him. But I knew it was the right thing to do. And I was a good follower that day. And I did what he asked me to do, even when it wasn't right. And he got that go. That lieutenant today is a 3-star general. Number 4, don't second guess your intuition. My wife reminds me of that every day when it comes to my businesses. When I went through Delta selection, it was the middle of the night on a 50-mile road march. We have to land navigate in the middle of the mountains. I came upon a crossing. There was a pile of rocks on the Appalachian Trail. I didn't know where it went. I was trying to read my map in the night. I decided to go left, but my intuition had said, go right. But I went left because I think I was following my map. I went another 2 miles and I fell into the river. And I realized that the stack of rocks at the trail intersection meant, hey dummy, that's a trail intersection, turn right. So I had to walk back another 2 miles. So I added from my 50 miles on to 2 more miles, which was 52 miles. And I learned to trust my intuition. Finally, the last thing I learned was, whistle while you work. It drives my wife crazy. But when things go bad, and you're down, and you think you can't go further, find a happy place, whistle, sing, hum. Just find a happy place. In Iraq in 2003 on Thanksgiving Day, I was caught in an ambush. My vehicle was shot up 52 times and I'd been shot through the arm. I drove me and my compadres out of the ambush and I got back to the American lines. But I found myself whistling, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Because I was so hyped up and I was so nervous, I needed to find a happy place, and whistling was my happy place. Those 5 rules of my passion have moved me through some tenacious situations both in the Army and the business world. But I have to ask, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of that's about your passion? Fear? Fear from your mom and dad? Fear from society? Fear of failing. Fear stops our passion, our energy. Fear makes us complacent. Complacency is the greatest threat to mankind and progress. Don't be afraid of fear. Let fear sharpen you. Let fear challenge you. Face your fears, especially if fears are in the way of your passion. When I was a Ranger, I was so fearful to jump out of an airplane, I'd get sick and throw up every time I had to get in a plane. Not a good thing as an airborne Ranger. I was fearful my little brother and my roommate and my Ranger buddies would think I was a coward. I dealt with this fear and anxiety every single day. But I was passionate about being a Ranger and a leader, except for the jumping part. One day I was told that I was going to Jumpmaster School to be the leader in charge of all the Rangers on a plane prior to jumping into combat. How was I going to do that if I hated jumping out of the plane? The day came that I went to Jumpmaster School. I looked fear in the eye and took a deep breath and I walked into school. I focused, I studied, and I learned, and I got so enthralled in the science and the responsibility of being a Jumpmaster, I lost my fear of jumping. The realization came that my responsibility for 64 others was more important than myself. I lost my fear by facing my fear. I became passionate about wanting to jump. On my last tour in Iraq, I Googled how to write a business plan and I wrote one. It sucked, but it started me on a path to entrepreneurship. I started a company, then I started 2 more. Some tell me I'm a serial entrepreneur. Most people just thought I was crazy. I was passionate about helping others. I'd seen so much destruction in the years before. I wanted to help those and provide an opportunity for others to succeed. The company struggled. One time a general asked me, "Jim, can you help me in Iraq?" And I jumped at the chance to be part of their team. My passion to help oppressed people to make decisions and move quickly with strong teams has made a journey more enjoyable than my military time, as we have completed operations in 52 countries globally. People ask me where I get my passion and if I have any concerns. And I do need to warn you about one thing about having passion. Sometimes you will receive backlash when you are passionate and display a high sense of energy. Some people will not like your passion, or they will complain about you. That's okay. Get comfortable with yourself, and if someone criticizes your passion and energy, they criticize because they don't like themselves, and they're jealous of your passion. Let me say the last thing. Over the next few days, if you get a chance, Google the term, "the man in the arena." This was a 35-page speech written by the late 26th President, Teddy Roosevelt. There's a famous passage that starts out with, "It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man or woman who is actually in the arena, marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who knows great enthusiasms and great devotions, who knows triumph and great achievement. And if he or she fails, they have failed greatly." This is who you become when you go out and do something with passion.